Hey, tubers. Wow. Okay. Dusty, I already said wow. Well, if you don't recognize what's behind me, it's a '03 Tundra. My '03 Tundra. Dusty, hey, I'm trying to make a video here. Hey, one of us sucks. Stop it. I'll be back in a minute. I'm back. You're being good now, Dusty. Okay. So, what's the problem with the Tundra? The power steering rack is leaking at the end on the passenger side. I took it in for a car inspection. They failed me because of a leak. So now I've got to fix it. I've never done this before. There's not any really good videos on how to fix this kind of leak with the rack still in place. The basic repair they show on YouTube is take out the rack, put in a whole new rack. Well, that's $300 to $500 depending on what you're buying. This fix seems to be able to be done for about $30. So here's what I'm working with. Your basic toolbox. Well, for me it's tool, but sockets, ratchets, wrenches. In here I've got your basic pliers and screwdrivers, and then whatever other crap you accumulate, you know, a couple of jack stands, and then the seal rebuild kit. Now for this Tundra, that's the part number, and I got it from Rock Auto. Then I also got a new rubber boot. And again, there's the part number. This also came from Rock Auto. Hey, it's made in Taiwan. Let's support Taiwan. Okay, so right now the truck's blocked in the back. Emergency brake is set. For this repair, you've got to get the front end totally jacked up on both sides so that you can turn the steering rack at some point in the repair. But you've also got to get this tire off. So I'll come back when the car's jacked up and the tire is off. Okay, Dusty, what have you got done? Good job. I have managed to pull the wheels off. Now I've got the truck blocked on both sides at this same spot. And, because I'm crazy, I've got the jack in the middle just as a safety, and I've put the tires under the frame and a 2x4 across them so that if anything slips, I'm not going to get crushed, I hope. Okay, so we've got a light, and here's what's going on. Taking you right under here so you can get the really good look, because this is a video to make a repair with. Okay, that clamp has got to come off, and what I'm hoping is if I break the tie rod and take this tie rod off in whole without changing this adjustment at all, because it's got to come off from there anyway, so just take it off from there and hold. That will allow me access to the seal area, which is, again, I've never done any of this before, so let's see what's going on. And while okay, this is probably about the best angle I can give you. I've pulled off the cotter pin, and I've broken the castle nut free. Well, I don't even really have enough room to work. We got a smaller wrench so you can stay with me. All right, here we go. A slightly smaller crescent wrench should give me swing room. So what the game plan is here, loosen this up to the, damn, I hit you. Loosen this up, and then, and if all the videos of everybody showing are right, that's what will happen. And of course, right now I've got the steering turned all the way to give me full access, or better access I should say, to this. Now supposedly you don't strike the top, you're striking. Okay. A little penetrating oil, and this thing made it just fine to the top. Okay. And because I don't want everything to clunk apart, I'm leaving that in place. Well, let's see. Can you still see me? Am I still? All right. Let's give it a whack and see what happens. All right, I'm going to need a bigger hammer. I'll bring you back later. Dusty, shut up. Well, I'm struggling. I'm going to turn it off and save the film. Like any good repair job, of course, there's problems, and I've already run to the parts store. It's tools. If you don't have the right tools, you cannot do the job. Well, I've got it all set up, and let's see, have you got any kind of view here? Maybe. See what happens. Man, this sucker just does not want to break. Whoop, something just happened and it popped. I mean, it literally just fell apart. All that beating and struggling for nothing. 2 seconds with the right tool. That's embarrassing. Okay, as you can see, I've disconnected the tie rod, and it's right there in the crap. I've counted the threads and all that other stuff, marked things, so hopefully I'm in the neighborhood. Here's something though that, can you see the holes in this thing? Just full of holes in the bottom. That's probably why it looks like it's dripping. So, like I said, I've got it all open and apart. I'm going to try moving the whole shaft system, you know, power steering system, back and forth a couple times to see what this actually looks like. If it's leaking, can I see where it's leaking, what's going on? All right, let me clean it up and I'm going to move it. Well, I've decided I'm not going to rebuild the power steering rack because it's not leaking. It's just a ripped up boot that's got a lot of crud. But I did find my tie rod ends on the other side is shot. So I've got my wrenches set up so that when I hit down on this one, I'll break the nut free. This wrench here is pretty much locked behind the sway bar. That's the easiest way to do these kind of things, guys. Otherwise, you're just fighting yourself to death. All right. Well, this video has taken a turn to the left. Originally, I was starting out to replace some leaky power steering seals, which now I don't believe are leaking. It appears it's the rubber boot and just crud and shit held in there. That's what's making it look like it leaks. So I've got a new boot for that. But in the process of doing all this, I struggled with these outer tie rod things. The problem is this one's ripped and moves like it's, you know, freewheeling, and the other one is not much better. But being as this one's got a big old rip in it, there's no way this thing's going to survive but, you know, a few more months before it really starts being a problem. So I've invested money in new tie rods, and these even came with a grease fitting, which I've installed. They're pre-greased, it looks like, but I thought a new grease fitting on the bottom would be nice. And these are marked right and left. Well, before I can put these tie rod ends on, these nice new ones, I've got to slip on this boot. So that's the next step. It should just be slip it on and clamp it. Okay, well at this point I'd say I'm done. I replaced the boot on the power steering rack. It's not leaking. I cycled it, I cleaned it, there's nothing leaking in there. So there's no sense to rebuilding that end. It was just a bad boot. But I noticed that my tie rod ends were really nasty, so I ended up buying some new ones. All right. Well, all I got to do now is pick up and slap the wheels on it. But I didn't think it'd be right to do one side without actually doing the other. I don't mean the boot, because this boot appears to be fine. I'm not, you know, replacing rubber. And I got it close enough. I'll get a front end alignment, it'll be fine. All right. So, does that count as a mod? I used non-Toyota shock absorber ends, and they're a right and a left part here. I'll actually show you the parts. All right, a right and a left part number. Here we go. Oh, right and a left. And they are specific, so make sure you get the right one. Okay, I'm wrapping this up. I'm not videotaping anymore. I'm taking my stuff in. I'm going to slowly pack up. Well, tubers, I'm wrapping it up. But this job definitely took a left turn. What I thought started out as needing a power steering rack leak, upon investigation, turned out to be the boot is just accordion, ripped in all the accordion, you know, shot. But of course, not having the right tools when I first attempted this job, I believe that I destroyed this ball joint trying to take it apart. And once these things, not ball joint, lower tie rod end, yeah, once that's gone, it's shot. So I got some new ones and you know, put it together. Still, even with a new boot, and that came from Rock Auto. I can send the rebuild parts back if I wanted to. Now I also decided, if you can see in there, instead of using the clamp that came with the boot, the zip tie, whatever it is, I just put a good hose clamp on it, something easy. And then I reused the clamp from the other boot. Now this is a brand new tie rod. This actually had the option of putting a grease fitting on it. I have no problems with grease fittings, so I added it. All right, well, only thing left is to slap a tire back on it and take it for a test drive. Now, in all probability, this will need a front end alignment, and I'm going to give it one. Dusty, please stop it. Hey, I'm trying to film here. Damn dog wants to be on the camera all the time. This was when it would be nice if you had like a floor jack or something, so you could just crank it up. But, oh, also another thing, I really bent the hell when I was trying to break it free. The dust shield for the brakes, mangled the crap out of that. So that's not pretty. I gotta go up another couple inches. But all in all, a very easy job to do. Geez, I might need a front end alignment anyways. These tires are talking to me. Everything that I bought and did, $100 and change. So this wasn't a major league expensive repair. All right. She's on. And let me tell you something. The money it would have cost me just to buy a new power steering rack, that's $400. Middle of the road price. And this wasn't even leaking. I mean, I wiped it down, I cycled it through all of its back and forth. No drips, no problems. So I can always take it apart in the future and make those changes. What I'm looking for right now is where did I put the tire wrench? Here we go. Here we go. Get this thing all snug down. I'm not worried about getting them tight. I just want to get them in the recess that holds the tire centered on the lug. There we go. Now I drop the truck. Jack stand out. And with that, the jack is out now. Just give these a tight pull. 1, 2, 3. I do a stagger pull. 4, jumping side to side. 5. And make sure you count all 6 of them. And you're done. Put the tools away, it's over. I thought I was done, but let's really wrap up this video, right? And the final part of this was I took the Tundra in for a front end alignment. And that's the before. As you can see, it ain't right. But after, everything's in the green. And anytime you do something like this to your front end, you really need to take it into the shop and have them put an alignment on it. I was close, but according to the guy, I had them both towed in a little. All right, that's it. Done. Total cost of these repairs was just, you know, I think about 210 bucks. Yeah, 210 bucks, easily covered everything. Front end alignment, the outer tie rods, the boot. I ended up not needing any of the stuff for the power steering rack rebuild because it wasn't leaking. When I got it open, I couldn't find any leaking end, so it's all just on hold. I can always inspect it anytime because I use the hose clamp. All right. Dusty, have you got anything to say about this? No, she's cool. All right, we're out.